Good morning, Reds. Welcome back to Talking Reds, and it is latest news time between myself and Armini. We're going to give you the latest on a little bit of a story on Ibrahima Konate and PSG and Alexander Isak and his potential going to Liverpool, or the fight for Arsenal as well, because Arsenal are still very, very keen on the Newcastle striker, but Liverpool, according to reports, could be front runners, potentially with Darwin Núñez leaving in summer. And first of all, I hadn't seen you for a while, and we'll just be talking about that. How are we doing?
Yeah, no, I'm good. Just been busy with life. How things are going nowadays. I'm trying to start off a new business, work, and trying to find a house as well. So it's like I've been all over the place, man. But yeah, I've been alright. What about you?
Good. Also and Liverpool doing well on the pitch. Midweek was a bit of a loss made a little bit midweek after the game.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get over it as quick as I can. It doesn't help that with the fact that we rested players against Plymouth and lost that to then draw that. It's been a week of it's been a poor week for us as Liverpool fans. Hopefully we'll bounce back tomorrow. It is Saturday today, so we'll bounce back tomorrow. I think Arsenal are about to kick off in about an hour against Leicester. But yeah, so it is what it is. We'll move tomorrow, hopefully. But let's talk about the latest news then. Well, Arsenal are keen on Alexander Isak, but this week it's seen that links with Liverpool seem to have substance. And what's coming out as reports as well is that we are the front runners currently for Isak.
Yeah.
What my problem is with Isak, so this guy's Matt Dudley, that's his name. Matt Dudley is a football correspondent for iPaper Sport. Not extremely reliable, but he has got things correct in the past in terms of what he has reported. So what he's saying there is Liverpool there's some substance in there, but what my problem is here, they're not out of harm, is the fact that we probably are interested in Isak. We're interested in a lot of players. It's whether we move them. That's the difference.
Yeah, facts. No, that's true. That is very true. I think what you said there is very true in terms of we can be interested in the player, is whether we actually get the player or we actually put a bid in. I think with Isak, the only issue that I'll have with him, I don't know if this would be something you want to segment into, but I want to touch on just a tiny bit, is the injuries a little bit. He has been getting he got a lot of injuries in his past seasons. This season has been really good. I think he's only missed one game in the Premier League. Yeah, I'm not too sure, but you can check that up. But yeah, I think he only missed one game in the Premier League this season. So that's good. But that's the only concern if it comes down to him really and truly. Because if you really look at the player, he's really complete. His finishing is great. His movement is great. His hold-up play is great. He's strong. He's fast. And if I'm going to say there's only one striker in the Premier League that Virgil Van Dijk kind of struggles a little bit with, is him.
Yeah.
Like he just has something against centre-backs. Even Saliba and Gabriel, they struggle against him. They just can't handle him. The guy's movement is fantastic. The way the ball controls his finishing, like I say, he's very strong as well. So I think he'll be a great addition to Liverpool. Now, whether we're front runners, I don't know. I would love that to be the case, but I think ever since the whole Caicedo situation, you really know we've gone through that whole drama, the whole problem that we were going through with the Caicedo thing. I've kind of died down my expectation when it comes to players, especially big time players, and it comes to big time money as well. Because you gotta understand, if we're gonna get him, Newcastle's gonna ask for at least 120, 125, 130 mil for him, because he's still got like 3 years on his contract, so they don't have to let him go. They can keep him. So it's going to take a very, very big effort for Liverpool to get him out of his contract and get him out Newcastle. So that's the reason I'm kind of hesitant on getting too excited about this. But if we do get him, yeah, what a beautiful signing.
I mean, the links of Darwin Núñez away to Saudi Arabia. I think the way that's going right now, the links that it's Vermaana's coming out of it. Ornstein's coming out of it. So I think there's definitely that is the big possibility of happening again. If we're to lose Salah, though, then we need to replace those goals. And for me, I've always said, look, we're not going to go out there and get a right winger like Salah that's going to get goals like Salah. The closest thing we could do is get a striker that's going to get the goals. And I'm not saying that Isak's the perfect person to replace Salah, but what Isak's doing is replacing Salah's goals. Isak can get 20 plus goals in the league, even 30 plus goals in the league in a team like Liverpool. That's what Salah's doing. So that's what we need to look at replacing. And then the right winger replacement would need to be someone that's potentially class, very, very good, and potentially to class. We need to sort of like when we replace with Coutinho, we sort of like use that money then to spread it out a little bit.
Spread it
That's
out.
what we need to do. If also we're not getting money for Salah, but in terms of not just addressing that right wing, we need to spread that sort of like the whole package thing. The goals come from the striker position, and Isak can also bring assists in. Like Isak's the complete striker for me. I've always said that. The way he drives forward, the way he brings the wingers in, the way he links up with the wingers, the way he gets the goals as well. He's a complete striker. So I don't think we'd miss Salah in terms of goal scoring. What would miss Salah in is everything else that he brings us, and obviously clutch moments. That's hopefully Isak has that. I mean, we haven't seen Isak in massive games like this where you need to be clutch. Salah does that, but in terms of actual number of goals, I think Isak can hit them.
100%, 100%. No, you're true. What you saying? Everything you said is true. I think with the Isaks, what the problem is, what I've been thinking about, and I was watching a couple more, couple like podcasts and a couple of like fan channels talking about this as well. The problem that Liverpool have is if we let those three guys go, it sends a very, very bad message to the world. Because a guy like Isak can look at that and be like, right, like, that's how they treat their superstars. The guys have been there for them through the hard times, through the bad times, the good times, and that have helped them gain the success that they have now. What they're going to do with me when I hit that age, when I'm demanding, let's say 250k per week for what I have done for the club, you know, getting them the trophies, getting them the goals, helping them get to top four and all these things. That is a bad message to send for if you're trying to attract players, because they're going to look at that and be like, do I really want to go to Liverpool? Or should I go to Arsenal where they will give me the amount of money that I want? And I've seen that they're loyal to their players. So I think it comes down to, this is another factor. It comes down to whether if Newcastle gets top four, it'll be very hard to get him out there because he wants to play Champions League football. So if Newcastle gets top four, but if we sort out the contract situation, that's another factor because of what I just said. And if the owners are actually willing to pay the money that Newcastle is going to ask for. I've heard, apparently, there might be a release clause in his contract. I'm not too sure. David Lynch, I believe he was speaking about it, and he wasn't too sure as well that, you know, if they actually had a release clause. So if he does have a release clause, it makes it easier because, you know, Liverpool love a release clause. So it makes it easier for them. But
it makes it easy to get a loan. It makes it easy to get a loan, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Easy. Honestly, so easy. So it's like we don't know yet. But I think if we can keep two of the three, because I genuinely believe I was hopeful, but I genuinely believe that Trent is going. I'm just being honest with you. I think the fact that he hasn't come out and said anything, the fact that he hasn't gave us Liverpool like fans reassurance to say, guys, look, I want to sign. I just need this contract to really get sorted the way I want it to be sorted out, to get the numbers I want the length. Then that would be fine because then, you know, Liverpool fans will be okay, cool. That these guys want to stay. Now it's down to the club. But the fact that he hasn't said anything, Virgil and Salah have come out and said, we want to stay, but it's the contract. You know what I mean? It's not the fact that they want to go. They want to stay, but it's a contract. And I think because Trent hasn't said anything, it's kind of making me like, I'm like, okay, yeah, he's gone to Madrid. He's going to Madrid.
There were actually reports that I covered yesterday. I think it was yesterday or the day before. There were actually reports that Trent did want to stay. He is wanting to stay. But again, it is what he's saying there will happen to the other two. Funnily enough, though, when you're talking about Isak and talking about Champions League football, Fred Zavachi from Team Talk did actually come out as well with a report about Isak, saying that he wants interested in joining Liverpool as he wants consistent Champions League football and to win trophies, which is almost guaranteed at Anfield.
Facts.
I have a little bit of an issue with that. Winning trophies is not a guarantee at Liverpool, not under FSG. We might win the league this season. Next season, we could finish out the Champions League if we let these two go. And like you said, if we're looking at these two contracts, if we let Virgil and Salah go, winning trophies is not a guarantee at Liverpool, almost guaranteed at Liverpool. Champions League football probably is. We will probably consistently get Champions League football, but winning trophies is certainly never a guarantee. That's why the likes of Trent is looking probably elsewhere.
Yeah, no,
Um,
definitely. I think what you said is true. Just to ask you this question, what do you think is the actual issue in terms of these contracts? Like, what do you think is the actual issue that's
it'd
holding it
be,
up right now?
I think it would be the payments as a whole and the length of the contracts, but the length of the contracts goes hand in hand with the payments. So if they're
Okay.
willing to let go of like 80 million, say like over 6 years, they're not willing
Mm,
to. They want that 2 years because it's less money. They're paying out less. So it does come down to money in the end. That's what it probably
yeah.
will come down to. And really, Salah and Van Dijk are the best in the world at what they're doing right now. So they should be paid as the best in the world. I'm not saying they should be given Mbappe money,
Mm,
but they should be up and thereabouts in terms of the paid players in the world and what they're delivering for us. But what
yeah.
they see is what FSG is they're just
Mm,
narrow minded on that age thing
yeah.
and
Yep.
that age.
Yeah.
But then because they don't actually probably seem to watch the football or know, like
Mm-hmm.
Lovren said, came out and said it the other day. Look, these billionaires might not care what happens on the pitch, or might not know what Salah is on the pitch to Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
But from my point of view, he will do this for another few years. But
Yeah.
FSG don't see it that way because they don't care about football. They probably don't even watch the game. They don't even see what Salah's doing. They don't see the Salah
Mm,
fitness. It's a different football right now. Salah's fitness, he
mm,
could keep going till 40. I'm not saying he's going to be the same level as 40, but
yeah.
he's
But
certainly
he
got
can
another.
still
When he's
play.
best in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
world right now, he's not took off. You know, he's not.
Mm,
If fair enough, if it dropped off this season and it looked like hangs on, the decline's starting a little bit. Towards the end of
yeah.
last year, it sort of declined off, but the whole team declined off.
Yeah.
This guy's the
Facts.
best in the world right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's worth the risk
Mm.
than going
No,
out there
it's
and
true.
replacing him.
It's true, and I also read that there was an article. Liverpool's one of like the sports science performance scientists that they had before when they were looking at, I think it was James Milner, Henderson, Fabinho, something like that, and they can tell like when they're gonna drop off. So they were giving this warning saying that this guy's gonna drop off at this point, so we need to get rid of him this point. And apparently that Salah's one, they were saying even if he'll get to a certain age and his level will still be at a good rate to keep him. Like his
Mm,
level's not going to drop at any points anytime soon.
yeah.
If that is the case, then I feel like then that should not be a worry. The age thing should not be a worry. I think with Salah's situation now is that I don't think it's the money because he gets paid a lot of money, really and truly. And I think because he's signed with Adidas as well, he's one of them. I think one of the ambassadors. Him and Trent, and we're getting Adidas next season. There's a package deal that you can do with Salah and Trent
Mm,
to give them more money. In terms of Salah, I don't think he's asking for wages increase. I think he's probably his one is probably length of contract.
yeah.
I think Virgil's one is length of contract and wages because Virgil I think is on like 220, 230 or something like that per week. He's probably looking at, okay, you know what? I'm the best defender in the whole world. There's no one close to my level. Yeah. I deserve to get paid a lot of money. So he's probably asking close to 300k per week. He's probably looking at that bracket, like 280, 290, maybe 300. He's looking at that, and he's probably looking at a 3-year contract. Maybe Liverpool don't want to give him the 3-year contract because they're thinking if we give you a 3-year contract on that sort of money, your level drops off next season. We'll have to keep for the next 2 years. We can't shift you off because no team's going to come and get a 32-year-old or 33-year-old centre back
Mm,
who has dropped off with a high wage bill. So they're probably just like, okay, no, we want to give you a 2-year contract with this money. But Virgil's like, no, I don't want. He probably doesn't want that. He probably wants a 3-year contract in that term. So I think with Salah and Trent now, I feel like you can use the Adidas deal that you're bringing in next season. Be like, look, what we're gonna do. Salah will keep on the same wages. We'll give you 2 years. But the money you're going to earn is going to be more because Adidas is coming. We're going to put a package deal with some sort of percentage. Whatever
yeah.
we make, sell, we give it to you. Trent, we're going to give you a 5-year deal. We'll give you we'll give you 280 per week. But with the same thing with Salah, we're going to give you a percentage of what we make from Adidas with the sales and everything like that. You're going to get that money, some of that money as well. I think that could work if they did that as a package deal for those two players. But if is Liverpool willing to do that, I don't think it will be a problem with Adidas side because those guys are already sponsored by them because they wear their boots. So there's not gonna be a problem with their side. I think it's gonna be the club side. Are they willing to do something like that to keep these players happy, to keep them at the club? So Yeah, and I think all of this thing is going to be a big impact on whether Isak is coming. Because if imagine this, imagine we have Isak, Salah on like
Gakpo.
up front, and then
Yeah.
and you have Gap on the. That is such a oh my days. The amount of attention that Salah's going to take, that Isak's
That's
going to take. Now Gap is oh
that's
man,
like that's like that's like Bobby Mane Salah sort of V game, but goals in Isak.
goals in abundance.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's not.
Yeah.
It's crazy. If we can do that, that will be such a potent attack. Then you can go into next season knowing that you're definitely going to win a trophy. You're going to definitely get top four. You definitely can compete because you have a striker now like Nunes. Let me tell you a stat about Nunes, yeah. And I was defending this guy because I wanted him to do well because he has all the quality to be a quality striker. Do you know Nunes only scored 4 goals throughout the whole season
You know.
in the Premier League?
Yeah. And he has had chances.
Ethan Ethan Waneri,
Two of
yeah,
them came
the
in
Arsenal
Brentford.
guy that literally he has more goals than him.
Yeah.
That is insane.
It's not acceptable. Yeah.
4 goals. That's absolutely insane. 4 goals throughout the whole. Is really bad. I'm sorry, that is really bad. Yes, the 2 goals that he scored for Brentford that was really crucial. Thank you for
Yeah. Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like, are you? That is not. I'm sorry. I need my striker to score at least 17 to 20 goals per season. Because if we imagine, no, if you put Isak in this team right now,
Really, the chance he's had is should be on
mm,
at least 10.
at least 10, at
Mm.
least 10. You know, you put Isak on this team right now, the race would have been over time ago. This Premier League race would not be 7 points. It will be 12, 13 points, 15 points. It would have not have been close at all because those chances that he had, Isak is scoring. Even if he scores 15%, 50% of the chances that Nunes has, the gap will be so
Yeah. Yeah.
crazy that you know what I mean. So I think that's the reason why I'm like, as much as I defended him for 2 years, I wanted him to
Yeah.
do well. I was supporting him.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
It's
exactly
time
the
for
same
him
as
to
you.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's time for him to go. So
You said about
yeah.
Isak looking at also the contract situation. Would he want to come to
Hmm.
Liverpool for losing Salah Van Dijk? That's what Konate is in that situation now as well, and that's why
Yeah.
Konate has been linked away from Liverpool. So yesterday,
Hmm.
Julian Lawrence for ESPN. Ibrahima
Yeah.
Konate wants to join PSG with the club, also keen on signing him in summer. Konate is very tempted on a possible return to the city of birth, but then it was also backed up by DJ Amil, which is a big, I think he's a big journalist online. Let's have a look 1 second. I
Hmm.
did get him somewhere. Um, it's a big online account, but I don't know. I don't know. No
Cool.
credibility on this. I don't know who the credibility is on this, but this is what he came out and said. Konate is very
Hmm.
open to joining PSG to the point where he's making it a priority at this point if he leaves. So if he does leave, it probably would be PSG if he does leave. So, but he said the other week, didn't he, in that press conference? Look, there was doubts about his contract. He said that's another story about his contract.
Hmm.
I'll die for this team. He said that, but regarding
Yeah.
regarding accepting the contract, it's a different story. Because
Different
what he's
story. Yeah.
looking at again is this contract situation between Salah and Van Dijk. Why should Konate stay here, win the league this season, but then stay here to happy to drop off again, losing as best players? He'll see
Yeah.
that and he'll say, "No, we need to build on what we're doing this season."
Hmm. No, honestly, everything you said is true. Everything you said is true. He's probably looking at, okay, so let's say you get rid of Virgil. Who's going to be playing next to me? You can't get anyone as good as Virgil next to me. So that means the burden falls on me. I already have injury issues. So if I drop off, who's going to be playing? You know what I mean? So that's another problem. He's probably thinking that. Number two, he's probably looking at it. If I go PSG, I'm from France. It's going to be the team that because you got to remember, he played in France his whole entire life until he came to Liverpool. Um, it's a team that I've looked up to my whole entire life as the big guys I wanted to get to play. And the money they're going to give me is ridiculous because I'm a great, great player. Okay, Liverpool, I want to stay here because I love this club, because I love the city, because I love the players I'm around. You can clearly see it when you see the videos, the little shorts that they
Mm.
do. Everybody loves him. He's the guy that just lifts up everybody with the jokes and how he is, his personality. He's looking at that. He's like, I love this place. I want to stay here, but are you going to give me what I'm worth? I think his one is not the length. I think his is the money that they're trying to give him. And this is the problem that I have, is the penny pinching. Why are you penny pinching?
Constantly.
Honestly.
Making record
Constantly.
revenue constantly. Yeah.
That you're making revenue.
And the
You're
players,
making
it's these
revenue.
players that are making them the revenue. If these players didn't play
Exactly.
well, we would not be making the revenue that we make.
It makes, like, I don't get it. I really don't get it. It's almost like you want, okay, I get it. Fair enough. You use Liverpool as a cash cow because you want to take money out of the club. Fair enough, cool, whatever. But you take these players out of the club, the revenue that you see each and every single year is not going to be the same.
Going to drop,
The revenue was
because
here
we're not going to
with
be
these players.
successful.
You're not going to be
Lots of players,
successful.
yeah.
You get rid of them, your revenue drops down here. It's the big difference. These are the reason why your revenue is so high, because they bring success to the club. They're seeing these players. Mo Salah, I'm sure he's the highest selling shirt in the whole club, because his shirts is getting sold in Saudi, in Egypt, all of these other countries, Arab countries, because it's Mo Salah. So you're bringing money from that side. You're getting audience from that side. You're getting more fans from that side. You take that away, you lose a big chunk of your revenue that you get. So I don't blame Iri for saying what he said. Honestly, I don't at all. I respected it, even though it hurt me. I was like, damn, don't say that. But I understand why. As a player, you want to play with the best. You don't want to see the best leave the door. You don't want to see the best leave. You want the best to stay and then add on to that so you can continue being successful, so you can continue winning trophies. And I don't know what these ownership are doing.
And they always
I
talk
was
about
happy
running
with.
it as a bit. They always talk about running it as a business. But if you look out
Mhm.
there in terms of normal businesses,
Yep.
and your employee is doing well, and you talk about raises and promotions, they will
Hmm.
eventually get raises and promotions. That's always there to do well. But if they're not being paid for what they're doing and they're going above and beyond, and then they're making the company money, they're making the company
Yep.
successful, they're
Yep.
going to look elsewhere.
Mm.
It's happened. My
100%.
friend did it. My friend did it. He worked for a big marketing company, and he was like doing all this work for him. And they were bringing him they were literally making him millions. The boss were making
Mm.
millions off the back of his work, and they were bringing him. And he always kept going to him. Do I get a promotion? I'm getting a promotion. I'm doing all this for you, and they were still batting it off. He went to work for someone else then. And that's exactly
Yep.
the same. If you're talking about working it as a business, that is exactly the same what the players are doing. If these are the guys that are performing every single week on the pitch to world class standard, to pushing your team to the top, creating bigger revenue, making your club millions, you should
Yep.
then reward them for what. And they're saying, "Oh, but we want to give them what they are going to give us." But you've got to think in mind what they have given us and what they deserve and what they are giving us right now, and
Yep.
that's what they need to be paid
100%.
for.
100%.
If you're talking about
So,
business wise, so yeah, it is what it is. I've said already many times. I don't know if you've seen it in the group chat, Dan, but I said
yep.
many times I'm preparing myself for all free to leave because I know this
Yeah.
on the ship. I'm
Hmm.
preparing mentally for these free to leave. I'm not saying they are going to leave, but I'm preparing for it. I'm
Yep.
not going to be surprised if it happened, if that makes
Mm.
sense. But
No,
yeah,
it's true.
it is what it is. Konate, it's a big summer coming up. Whatever happens, whether we lose Konate, there's possibility of losing Alisson Becker now, from what I've been told.
Oh, ugh, Lord.
Isak coming in again depends on. He's going to look at this, and if we lose this, and this Belair,
Yeah, he's not
then
going
he's
to
going
want
to
to
look at it
come.
and thinking, why? What
No.
am I going into here? But yeah, it is what it is. That's the latest Liverpool news. Make sure you do like this video. Help us massively. Enjoy the weekend. Hopefully, it ends on a Liverpool win, and we can forget about the Everton game, forget about the Plymouth game, forget about anything else right now. But yeah, let's hope we will get a win this weekend. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. Get notification bells on as well, because we get Liverpool content out every single day. I will be live hopefully tomorrow for a pre-match for the Liverpool Wolves game. So join us live tomorrow. So again, notification bells on for that live, notifying you then we are live tomorrow. But I like these pre-match chats. So I get everyone in, hopefully bounce off of people that are watching live and see what your thoughts are on the upcoming game. Thank you for watching. Thanks, Sam. Have a great weekend, guys.